How is functional medicine being delivered in Cairo, Egypt? Interesting question for Dr. Heba Elnazer on the Functional Forum from London. I'd love for you to share your experience of going to America to get trained in functional integrative medicine and then trying to start an integrative functional medicine practice in Cairo, because I think it's very interesting for the UK.
Okay, hello everyone. James, I wasn't prepared for this, so if I start to get too excited and talking too much, please just stop me, okay?
Absolutely.
So I'm an internal medicine specialist from Cairo. I studied there, and since I was a student, I realized there was a lot of shortcomings with the conventional and traditional medicine with patients' relations. And I started researching what other methods are out there to integrate it into my practice, and America was the answer. I went there for my postgraduate training. I trained under a lot of some of the best names in integrative medicine, and at the Continuum Center and in UCLA as well, and came back to Egypt and decided to start my own practice. So there's a couple of, I always believe that when you're choosing a model, it's very important to see what your environment needs and then just adapt to that. So in Egypt, we have a very different system. It's not governmentally organized like here, like the NHS, where patients are covered and taken care of. Largely, healthcare in Cairo or in Egypt in general is in the private sector, and it's a cash market. Patients usually pay out of pocket for their health needs. So despite that being challenging in terms of what kind of healthcare standard patients are provided with, it's still a very good opportunity, because as doctors, you don't have to deal with reimbursement issues and what's covered and what's not covered. So when I started off the practice, I wanted it to be a team-based practice where there are different specialists on board dealing with mental health, nutrition, and the whole integrative medicine thing. And due to the lack of a primary care system in Egypt and lack of healthcare in general, we started, at the beginning, I was dealing with all the integrative medicine stuff cases, like the cases that integrative medicine is very good at, like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, wellness, detoxification, all of these things. And then we just started getting bombarded with a lot of chronic disease patients. And so our model is a bit different, because you can't really say, I'm just going to focus on prevention. It's more of secondary prevention. And usually patients are over-medicated. There's usually like multi-system problems, so it's not just one or two problems. And so we decided to have a membership-based model. And this was, I decided on that, or me and my business partner, who's friends with James as well, decided on that because I wanted to solve two problems, one with the patient, the other with the doctors themselves. So the first problem with the patients, we needed to have this continuity of care, but also we don't have health coaches over there, and we don't have alternative regulated practices such as naturopathy and acupuncture and all of these things. So we wanted this to be continuous. We wanted doctors to actually take care of the patients and communicate with them out of the clinic, and empower patients, because this is really where the problem with chronic disease is, and empower them with knowledge. And the other issue was doctors were usually frustrated if we're having just like a short consultation time, and we don't have a monitor for what kind of health outcome you're having with the patient. So we created a model based on membership, where the physician is usually the case manager of the patient, and he's responsible for the provision and the health outcome, where doctors get together at the end of every month and actually talk about different cases and the outcomes, sort of like to remind themselves of, am I just like talking here and just like supporting the patient just emotionally, or am I actually having like positive milestones that could actually be measured all the time? So I started Revive Medical, and we've been seeing patients for the past 3 years now.
Thanks so much for watching, and for more great clips like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I've created a special free video just for you called Harnessing the Power of Community in Your Practice, and it'll give you a clinical model, practical tools that double as marketing, and strategies to develop a community of your peers. All you have to do is click on the link below.